what we're going to need, love, to get me really materialising, is a big whooping, stamping the feet, and a big round of applause, yes! Because
bless you all for coming. Oh, bless you, man. Oh, bless you. Thank you all very much. Are you all fun people?
Yes.
You can talk to me, though. I may be dead, but it's not one note for yes, two for no. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you're fun people. So if you are fun people, you've probably all seen that lovely film called Toy Story with Buzz Lightyear, who went to infinity and beyond. Well, I did one better, love, and came back. Back from beyond, because I am Lottie Wainwright, deceased. Now, there's many, many advantages to being dead. Well, first of all, you know, no matter what I do, I'll never live to regret it. And secondly, I'm never going to catch swine flu. And even if I did, what harm's it going to do me? You know what I'm saying? Now, let me explain to you. Now, I died in 1899. 1899, it sounds like a reduction of Debenham. 1899. And let me tell you why I've come back from the devil. It's the truth, it is. It's the truth. I lay on my deathbed and I looked back over my life and I thought, I wish I'd tried more positions. And that's why I'm here, love, to make sure you lovely people enjoy your time on this earth, whether you like it or not. Now, would you mind if I tell you a bit about myself? Is that all right? Is that okay? Now, I should explain. I come from a lovely little village in South Yorkshire called Penny Bottom. Penny Bottom, very sadly, they had to pull it down in order to build the Woollyhead service station. My mother's buried there. Well, where her grave was is now the SOD's. Do you know she's coming up at 125? now that, you see, that would have surprised her because we've just been to war against Napoleon, the sort of metric. Never trust a man, though, who measures himself in centimetres. Now then, as I say, I come from a lovely little village in South Yorkshire. Now, to me, love, that was the most wonderful place on earth. And I know, I say that I know because, you see, when you're from Yorkshire, everywhere else is a bit of a disappointment. Which is why I say to people from Yorkshire when they first come to heaven, I say, welcome to paradise, love. You won't like it. No, because the afterlife, actually, is very overrated. No, heaven can be very tiring. But that's the problem, you see, with eternity, the hours are long. Anyway, I should explain that I had a very, very, very happy childhood in Penny Bottom, even though there was just me and my mother. Because I never knew my father. And I don't think my mother knew him for long. Because I said to her one day, I said, what did my father actually look like? You know, did he have dark hair like me? Or was he fair like you? She said, I couldn't tell you, love, he never took off his cap. Now, we came from a one-parent family, love, before people recognised. You see, in them days, and the one-parent family, love, was a very difficult situation, you see, because the only way to get money was from the local parish, and they didn't approve of foreign women. And so what my mother had to do, she had to tell, they'd come up with this story that her husband had been killed at the Battle of Balaclava. Anyway, she came out with 2 shillings a week, which was sort of the gyre of its day, you know what I'm saying? Now, I must say that some of that 2 shillings, love, was spent on drink. Because my mother loved it. Very odd the way she did it. Of an evening, she'd always pour herself 2 gins. I said to her, why do you always pour yourself 2 gins? She said, she said, that's because, she said, you see, the third gin turns me into a different woman. So I think it's only fair that she should have one as well. But it makes sense in a way. It makes sense in a way, because it does. Now then, my mother was the bedrock of my life. But the old saying is, it's true, it takes a village to bring up a child. And so what I want to talk about today, I'm going to need to lean on this stuff. Now, as a child, I want to talk about this evening what it was like when I learned this stuff. Now, we're not going to do any audience participation, but I just want to get a sense of the audience. Now, who out there, love, went to school? Put your hand up if you went to school. So who out there, love, can read and write? Now, the observant ones amongst you will have noticed I do not have my hands ready. By the way, love, you can put your arm down now, unless you want to keep it up there with petulant denial of gravity. Now, I did not have my hands on, because, ladies and gentlemen, I cannot read and write. Because the only education I had was Sunday school. Now, our Sunday school was run by Miss Mudstone and Miss Frink, 2 spinsters. Though, of course, we called them lesbians. It's the truth. It's the truth. Now, Miss Mudstone and Miss Frink, they taught us all about the Bible, and we did a bit of drawing with it. Now, what they used to do was, I should explain, they used to sing a hymn, and then we used to have to draw a picture, you see, based on that hymn. And one day they sang that lovely hymn, all things bright and beautiful, all creatures great and small. Lots of pictures there to choose from. All things white and wonderful, the Lord of being alone. Now you see, that would have been all right, had they not moved on to the second verse. The purple-headed mountain. Because the boy who drew his version of that love got sent home and was never allowed purple chalk again. Or pink. Now, and I got into trouble myself actually once with one of the drawings that I did. It was at Christmas time, and they sang that lovely carol, Silent Night, which was new in them days. Imagine Silent Night being new. It's like listening to the Cannons and shit. Anyway, it was hanging time. So I drew this picture of the nativity scene, you see, with this big fat woman over in the corner. Miss Mudstone came up to me. She said, Lottie, who is she? So I put my hand up, and I said, well, Miss Mudstone, that is the round young virgin. But I'd never heard that song before, love. You can't always tell what the lyrics are, can you? Anyway, Miss Mudstone, she hit me on the head and told me I was stupid. And as a punishment for being stupid, I was downgraded in the nativity play from first wise man to second shepherd. Because, said Miss Mudstone, shepherds like me were stupid. But, she said, it is the innocence of the shepherd that brings him closer to God. But you should see Brokeback Mountain, that's all. That's the truth. Now, I remember, you know, I do. I remember that year very well, because we were meant to have a real baby to play Jesus. Because one of the girls in the village was expecting, but she wouldn't see who the father was. So the nuns came and took it away, which Mother thought was very hypocritical, given the nature of Jesus' own parents. Now, ladies and gentlemen, my my final days at Sunday school came to an end when the vicar came to call. Now he stood at the front. He stood at the front and he said, "Now, children," he said, "do you know where people go when they do naughty things?" So I put my hand up. I said, "Yes, Mr. Vicar, under the steps of the church lawn." Well, that's where I've seen him and the Virgin. It's the truth. And I knew what they were doing was very naughty. Because the Virgin had told me off, and I was only sucking my thumb. It's the truth. It's the truth. Now, I have never seen Miss Mudstone and Miss Pringle go so quiet as when I told that to the whole class. And that was my final day at Sunday school. And also the vicar's. Do you know, I'm not quite sure what happened to the Virgin, but I think he had to give his cassette back. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as I say, that was really the end of my education, so I never learned to read and write. But I always signed my signature with 3 crosses, just to prove I had a middle name. Now, can I just see the audience, love? Now, have I got any teachers in tonight, love? Any people in the... Oh, a teacher? Any teachers? Oh, I think most of them were at home doing lesson plans, aren't they? Or on the Third Valley and one of the two. Now, are you primary school or secondary school, love? Neither. What are you? Are you in that university? Just below that. It's complicated, this new system. I only had Sunday school. Well, I always think if you're a teacher, you're better with a primary school because you've got more chance of a parking space. You have. What I don't understand about modern education, and it's the truth, is this, love. Why don't children go to school? There's all this truancy. I'd love to learn. I'd love to go to school. And I don't understand. I'm going to tell you, love, how I'm going to solve the truancy problem. Do you want to hear how I'm to do it? Yes. At assembly, love, this is what I do at assembly. I make an announcement. Children, we are all going to have a whole day devoted to sex education. And I'm going to teach you, with your help, some new positions. Now the trick is, you don't tell them which day. And then you see, they turn up every day, hoping it'll be that one. Because I never got no sex education at Sunday school. Not with Miss Mudstone and Miss Pringle. I don't think they knew much about sex. Well, not the Adam and Eve begetting sort. But no, it would be a good idea. The only sex education I used to get was from my mother. Now, most mothers would say to their daughters when their daughters came of age, this is the phrase they used, hold on to your evening. It's true. It's true. They said, keep yourself pure, hold on to your evening. Not my mother. She said, Lottie, she said, do what you like with your evening, but you don't spend it all on the same thing. No, that's the way you have to talk about sex in language. You couldn't do it directly. She'd have to. No, my mother would take me aside. She'd say, what men like best, Lottie, is a varied diet. So to keep a man happy, always add a new dish to the menu. I said, what if I don't know the recipe? She said, well, go ask a woman who's been cooking longer than you. And that was the way it worked. Now, what do we think about learning them when they're young? You're the teacher. What's important? What's important to the young people in education today? A teacher who knows the answer. A teacher who knows the answer. No, well, what do we think? What do we think? Well, I'm going to tell you what I think, to Joe. Do you know what I think is important? Most important of all in education? Curiosity. Curiosity. Now they say, curiosity killed the cat. No. It was the making of that species. And it's the making of that because I was always putting my hand up and asking questions. And once Miss Mudstone and Miss Sprinkle, what we is how God created the world in 7 days, or 6 days, anyway. So I put my hand up and I said, Miss, I've got a question about the universe. She said, oh, what is it, Lottie? I said, why doesn't the moon fall down? Well, do you know why the moon doesn't fall down? Do you know? He's educated, he doesn't know what it is. But it used to worry me as a child. You know, I used to go out at night. I used to look, we should throw a ball up in the air, don't you? And it comes down. And that moon's been up there a bloody long time. I used to look, I think I used to look and say, oh, if it falls down, I hope it's on France. So anyway, Miss, well, not the phone. So, Miss Mudstone, she hit me on the head and told me I was stupid. So I never did discover why the moon didn't fall down. Until last week, when I bumped into Sir Isaac Newton. Now he said, well, he said, it's a very good question, Lottie, because it sort of hangs there in space, betwixt, lovely word that, isn't it, betwixt the gravitational pull of the Earth and its own projectile forms. It is caught in an equilibrium of opposites. I said, Isaac, I said, is that like, I said, when you're so drunk, you want to fall over, but your pride is there, somehow keeping you upright, and you sort of hover in between. He said, Lottie, if I'd have thought of that, I'd have put it in my mathematical principle. And the world would have understood my third law of motion so much better. And you would have known why the moon didn't. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I did mention heaven earlier, and I don't really want to, shall I have a sit down? I don't really want to talk too much about it, but can we have the lovely man in the box, love, lovely judge, can we have the house lights? Can I just see the lovely audience that are here? Can we just have a bit of house lights up? Has anybody got any questions at all about the afterlife? Anybody want to know anything that happens in the afterlife? Anybody? What, love? Oh, yes. Oh, yes, there's an afterlife. It's a funny place, though. You'd have thought, wouldn't you, be like one of them luxury cruises? You know, with all the entertainment provided. No, love. No, we've got to provide our own entertainment. Incidentally, love, Michael Jackson hasn't yet come. No, well, in life they chop so much off of him, you know, they're still collecting the offcuts before they put him together. But we got very excited last year when that Pavarotti died. Because the first thing he decided to do was give us one of his concerts. You know. I went along. I thought it was a bit of a miserable one. You don't like you joining in. Don't like you joining in. No, I tell you what I'm missing tonight, love, in heaven. Karaoke night with Jean-Paul Sartre. His singing's not much, a bit like his philosophy being non-existent. But he has a go, you know. He has a go. Any other questions about the afterlife at all? Have you met God? Have I met God? Now, that's a very deep question here, love. Very deep question. It's difficult to explain God. You know, half an hour you know when there's been one of them terrible murders, you know, and they go and interview the woman that lived next door to the murderer, and they say, what was the murderer like? And she always says, he keeps himself to himself. Well, God's like that. He always keeps himself to himself. And I also think he's like that murderer because I think he looks at all the bad things in the world and says, oh, is it me or should I blame society? Any other questions about the afterlife? You've thought of one now, you've thought of one, bless you.
Are there dinosaurs?
No, there's animals. It's like, I've still got mine on there, don't I? You keep the characteristics that you had in life. Now, you know some people in life, it's the truth, have cold feet. Have you noticed that some people have cold feet? Many ghosts have cold feet. Except Joan of Arc. She's got lovely warm feet now. And she's about, I'm not saying anything like that, she's rather masculine looking. She is. And she doesn't wear any makeup. But then again, you see, what eyeshadow goes with the skin tone? They can only be described as charcoal. It is difficult. Now, we've had a bit of a chat about that, so that's fine, that's fine. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm really here tonight to make sure that you lovely people stop worrying about all the problems in the world. And today, love, I have been working with a man you may have heard of called Alistair Darling. Have you heard of him? He's absolutely exceptional. And this is a bit of therapy, love, I did with him, and I want to do it with you. I told him to stop worrying. And what you want to do is, I want you all to stand up if you will, love. Because it's going to be good for your resist, love. I want you all to stand up. Don't knock on the drinks over. Now what I want you to do, watch me. Now with your right foot, go clockwise with your right foot like that. If you can, if you've got room, hang on, you can use. Now go clockwise with your right foot like that. And with your right arm, draw a number 6 in midair. You can sit down now. And that's what I said to Alistair Darling. If you can't control your own bloody thoughts, how do you expect to do it with the economy? Because people worry too much about money. I never let it rule me. No. Because on the day they came to read my will, it said just one thing. Being of sound mind, I spent the lot. And people want to know, how much that was. Well, let me put it like this, love. I came into this world with nothing. And by the end of my life, I still have most of it left. And that is the truth. I never worried about money because, well, I never had any. It's people with money, that worry. Whether they're going to lose it. Well, I never bothered me. Because the way I brought up in Penny Bottom, we were dog poor. Dog poor. Many a time, love, the landlord would come round for the rent, and I'd have to shout upstairs, Mother, have you got the money? Or do you want me to play outside? It was... He's remembering, that's it. It's the truth. Because no, life was tough, life was true, but we were happy. We were happy and contented. Better to live, love, in the cottage of contentment than the palace of despair. Because the point I made, spending money, that's not going to make you happy. It's in, I'm sorry, it's not going to make you. Now I know what you're thinking. I can see what you're thinking. Lottie, that is because you are from Yorkshire. And then people don't like spending the money. Because they say, don't they? They say, don't they? The Grand Canyon was formed when a Yorkshireman went to Nevada and lost a sixpence. It's an old one, but it's a good one. Doing my day, but it's old now. But no, it's a joke. I don't mean it like that. I mean it in a very traditional way. Money can't buy you happiness. Well, I do admit, it can help you look in more interesting places. Now, the trick really, though, is this. Now, this is what I want you to do tomorrow. Get a pen and paper, and go down to Harrods. I saw that belt. And make a long list. I didn't wander around Harrods. Have you been to Harrods? You've been to once or twice. Make a long list of all those things you don't need. And the longer that list is, the happier you'll be. And that's a bit of words of wisdom. It's the truth. It's the truth. Because we're all you're always buying things you don't need. You know what I blame? Them people in advertisements. No, they make you long for something you've never had, never missed, never needed, and if you tried it, you probably wouldn't even like. No wonder it's men that run that business. Now to prove it, love, I brought with me this evening some items in life that you don't need. Now this, love, is called a banana protector. What you do, you see, you put it on your banana as protection. Don't tell the Pope, love, he won't like it. Now, have you ever seen, ladies and gentlemen, have you ever seen anything more ridiculous than this? So I ask you, love, because your banana, it's got its own protection. It's like you think your banana's only vulnerable when you pull back the skin and explodes the fleshy bit. That's the truth. Now I've got something else. I've got something else that you don't need. Now where is it? That's at the bottom. A pair of tweezers. You're thinking, very tweezers, they're very, very useful, Lottie. Not with a tweezer, with its own searchlight. Don't walk into the light. Don't promise no, going to go into the light. Do that. Have you ever seen anything? Do you know, the only time I think that this could be useful is if, late at night, there's a sudden power cut and you get this sudden urge in the dark to pull hairs out your nose. Now if you do get that urge, you don't need tweezers, you need therapy. And I've got this other one, now this might be more useful. This is a water pistol that predicts the future. A water predict now, I've got this water pistol, love, and it's full of water, and my finger's on the trigger. And I'm pointing it straight at you. Who knew I was going to do that? I think this does predict. I should buy one of these, they're very, very useful. Now, ladies and gentlemen, there's many advantages, I was saying there are many advantages to being dead, and one is I can't get old. But of course, even ghosts can get old in head. But what I do to stop that, though, I go to Glastonbury. I do. I go to Glastonbury because it's music that keeps us all young at heart. Now, when I go to Glastonbury, I always share a tent with the Hells Angels. Incidentally, Hells Angels are a lot nicer than real angels, except the angel gave me. He's very nice. I've been much happier, I think, since he came out. No, music-wise, he's a big fan of Kylie. I think being an angel is attracted to all them feathers, you know what I'm saying? You'd have thought with his biblical connection he'd have gone for Madonna, but no. No, it doesn't really matter, it doesn't sort of matter which music you like, as long as it stops you going still. And, which, you see, I get worried, you see, about elderly people. Because you mentioned garage music for elderly people. They think they're where they put their old Des O'Connor records. Well, if they were listening to Miss Dynamite and the Streets, they wouldn't think elderly in the first place, because it's music, I says, that keeps us, got to stay with it. Which is why Mozart has recently teamed up with Sid Vicious. Now, that's not a match you'd have thought made in heaven, but that's exactly where it was made. You know, and yes, it's gone all punk now, it's gone all punk as Mozart. Cosy Van Tootie, love, is no longer that cosy. Not now, there's a whole area just of spitting. It's a remarkable sight, seeing Maria Callas do that. No, it's the truth, love. There's a singer with a very large range, but you can either believe me, she can gobble as high as it will. So have we got any people who are musical in tonight? Anybody music? Because music's such a lovely thing. Is anybody musical in tonight? Oh, you've got your hand up. What's your instrument, love?
The piano.
Piano? Oh, that's good. Now, do you like a sort of electronic model, or do you like working in an old upright? Which is your favourite? What sort of music do you like, love?
Well, all kinds.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
Very eclectic.
Oh, are you, though?
Yes.
Yes. Very lovely. Did you have a special favourite?
Well, type of music. Show songs.
Show songs, yes. Or musicals?
Yes.
Musicals. They're lovely things, musicals. Because a musical evening is very useful. somewhere you can take both your mother and your boyfriend. At the same time, and that's rare, love. It is. I don't mind if people are the other way, love. Same dance, different tune. That's what it is. No, love, I love the lovely. I met a lovely chap who was on Old Compton Street, and he was walking down, and I said, what do you do? He said, I'm a businessman. I said, businessmen don't walk like that. I said, you don't know my business. He was a lovely man called Derek. Well, actually, he had two identities. He was sometimes called Derek Rogers and sometimes Roger Derek, depending on his mood and those of his friends. Now, we're going to move. Oh, I'm going to have another. I'm going to show you this as well, which I thought earlier. Now, this is a useful thing you don't need. Now, what you do with this is, do you imagine what this is? Look at that. Well, apparently, what you do is you get an avocado pear and you cut it in half, and the half you don't finish, you put on there, and you wrap it down. Now the question I have is this. What is an avocado pear? I ask them because one of the disadvantages it goes is I am unable to eat. I'm unable to eat. No. You see, when you become an incarnate ectoplasm, it does terrible things to your digestion. And when I was alive, I used to love eating. I used to love it. So the one thing I don't understand about the modern world is dieting. Why do people choose not to eat when they could? I mean, because when I was growing up, we were lucky to get food at all. I remember once finding mice in the garden. I said to my mother, what shall we do? She said, lock them in and starve them to death. Sometimes I was so hungry, I could eat the leg off a chair. Because, I mean, the food they give you on them diets, Cold Star was invented, love, when someone couldn't find a dustbin. I wouldn't give it to a dog I didn't like. And the golden rule, you see, of any diet is this, love. If it tastes nice, spit it out. I say, if it tastes nice, order some more. You've plenty of time to be thin, love, when you're dead. You're not dead yet, so don't be doing that. Now I'll tell you why do people go on these diets? I'll tell you why, because they think they might look a bit fat. That's what they think. They think they might look a bit fat. Well, I quite like a bit of butter around the edges. You know, I do love. Now, I'm not talking about them people that are obese. I'm not talking about them. Them that, you know, no matter where you are in the room, they're always somehow standing next to you. You know, that when they laugh, it takes half an hour for everything to settle. I'm talking about healthy people with the fuller figure. That's what I'm talking. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that indeed. I'll tell you what is wrong. Starving yourself silly. To look like, you know, Lily Allen or something. That Lily Allen. She never wears stripes, does she? No. There'd only be room for one. I'll tell you. Now, earlier, love, I mentioned Glaston. Now, young people, lovely young people that are here tonight. I do love the young people, but they do confuse me sometimes. Because at Glastonbury, I kept hearing them saying very quietly, "Have you got any Charlie? Have you got any Charlie?" And I said, well, as a matter of fact, love, yes, I do have some Charlie. And here he is. This is my ex-husband, Charlie. What's left of him? You know, hello, Charlie. You can't answer back now, love, can you? Now, I have this little ritual everywhere I go, love, because I always scatter a little bit of him on the floor. Because I have this theory that had he lived, he'd be a very good demonstrator of vacuum cleaner. Now, ladies and gentlemen, well, I say that, Rob, because, well, I never got any money out of it. Because whatever money he had, he would spend it on the horses. He once tried to explain gambling to me. He said, now, Lottie, he said, you know the Grand National is a difficult race? I said, he said, can you think of another difficult race? I said, yes, the French. Well, that Napoleon's, it kept wars going for years. Anybody French in tonight? Well, you've only yourselves to blame, if you are. You're only yourselves to blame. So, but the truth was that when my poor Charlie died, and on the day of the funeral, the only thing he cared about in life was this little porcelain figure of a horse called Little Charlie. So on the day of the funeral, I hold your hand because I'm filling up on the day of the, not too hard. On the day of the funeral, I took that little horse down to the edge of the graveside, and as he was lowered down, I threw it down and shouted, "Put that on the 230, you bastard!" It was a pauper's funeral. He was in the 5th coffin. Not even in the first 3. Ladies and gentlemen, you've been such a lovely, lovely crowd, and it's been lovely to be here. But apparently we've also got a part 2, because the lovely Penny has got some wine, I think, and all the rest of it. We're going to have a little trip, and we're going to have a bit of a part 2 with this young man who's going to come on and do some funny voices for you. That's exciting, being able to copy the talents of others. You have been such a lovely, lovely crowd. I will say that this was probably the best night of my life were I alive. My name's been Lottie Wainwright. You've been splendid. Have a lovely interval. Thank you very much.